Hello everyone, Wise Guy here. Today I'm going to be continuing with the tutorials on logistic pipes. I'm actually going to be starting this with part 1, going over just strictly logistic pipes. Logistic pipes is an add-on for Buildcraft. It gives you a lot of items, pretty much from block ID 7123 to 7156. All these different items here that you can craft and create. Mostly using Buildcraft pipes as a base and then kind of going from there. So for example, your most basic pipe is going to be a basic logistic pipe. And you can see that it requires a diamond pipe and circuits or a diamond pipe and gears, which is an older recipe but still works for this. Now it does seem pretty expensive, but logistic pipes are really great. You get 8 per use, and there's a lot of cool things you can do with that. So basically I'm just going to use this video of part 1 to go over every type of pipe that I can. I might need to break this into multiple parts, and then I'm actually going to go a little bit in depth of how to use each pipe, the different modules that we have, and the different tools that are added as well with logistic pipes. So it's going to be a little bit crazy. We're going to just kind of go step by step, and I'm going to try to break this down so you can understand the mod and start making really cool systems. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'm back. So as I was stating, the basic logistic pipe is going to be your basic pipe that's used for basic transporting like you would in Buildcraft with something like a cobblestone transport pipe. Now to craft these, they are pretty expensive. You're going to need diamond pipe, 2 redstone torches, 2 redstone golden chipsets, 4 pieces of glass, and you'll get 8 from there. So the good news is that you get 8 per, but it does require a diamond transport pipe. So it's going to be a little bit expensive for you. You can also do golden gears if you don't have a laser table set up yet. However, golden gears require 4 pieces of gold, and redstone chipsets only require 1. So you're going to save yourself a lot of gold by using chipsets instead. Now, with your basic logistic pipes, they have a couple features that you'll see on every other pipe that you place. When you place these down, they have this cool graphic that turns green, and basically what that means is it's a valid connection to your network. Your network is going to be your series of pipes connected. Now, if I have another set of pipes here, we can see that these all connect and turn green, and these all connect and turn green, and I have one network on my left and one network on my right. If I join these, I have one continuous network, and we can see that intersections work just fine. You can have as many as you like on all faces, and you aren't going to have any issues here. The red line does turn green just as it checks for valid network. Now I'll go ahead and break some of these and show you a couple things we can do with these. And to use these, we can actually place down a chest on one side, and this network will pull items from the chest. Now, how are we actually going to know what's in our chest? We need something to provide our network with these items. There's actually a great solution for that Kraphts has brought us. It's called a provider logistic pipe. Now we can place this down, and I'll show you the crafting recipe for that as well. We're going to take one basic logistic pipe and one piece of glowstone. And by using a Buildcraft wrench, we can right click and see a nice little interface here. And it says items to provide or empty for all. Now what this is saying is, if I have items in this chest, which one should I provide? And now we can say include or exclude. We can switch to status over here, and I'll go over each of those. And we can also talk about the different items here. Let me go to get rid of that rain. I've had to do that a couple times. So if I have, for example, a couple pieces of cobblestone in there, let's put 5 in there. I can whack this with a wrench. I'm right clicking on that. And I can say leave empty, which will provide all items in here, the cobblestone and anything else that's in there. Or I can say only include cobblestone. Anything else do not provide to my network. The choice is up to you. You can just place one in here. You get to keep your stack of 59. You can right click or left click to remove the item. Now the mode over here, normal is just going to provide everything that's in the chest, so all items that are in the chest will be provided. Leave first stack means first stack here will be left and anything else will be sent. You can do things like leave last stack, which is the opposite, first and last stack, one item per stack, and then back to the normal. So you can see that's useful where one item per stack would basically do this to you. You could have first and last stack, which would leave something like that for you. etc. And I'll go into the different uses for that in later episodes, but right now let's just go ahead and leave that on normal with a few pieces of cobblestone in there. That works. We'll just leave half a stack. Now that's great. We have a way to provide items, but we still need a way to actually request these items. So to actually request these items, we have something called a request logistic pipe. And I'll show you the recipe of that. It's going to take, again, a basic logistic pipe and 2 redstone golden chipsets or 2 golden gears. And again, the chipsets are always the better option here, guys. If you can do it, do it. They take a little bit longer to make with the laser table, but they're going to save you a lot of gold and a lot of resources. You get 1 request logistic pipe for that. I went ahead and pulled a stack of these, but what you can do is hook it up on any valid network. You'll see the green line validates the items. And we can actually right-click this with a wrench, and it will tell me everything available in this network. So we can see there's 33 pieces of cobblestone in my network. Where did we get that 33 from? We got that from this chest right here, who has 33 in it, with the provider pipe that's saying I'm going to be able to provide these 33 pieces of cobblestone if someone requests it. Now, I'm sure most of you that aren't familiar with logistic pipes are already saying, wow, this is a great feature. I can have my items in storage and just put 1 pipe down to call out whatever I want. And that's exactly what you can do. You can select cobblestone, and using these plus and minus, you can pick how many you want. You can pick 1 at a time. You can use the big plus to go 10 at a time. You can use the triple plus to go a stack at a time. You can see that that went up by a whole 64 stack. So I'll go to request 10 of these. It gives me a pop-up because that's marked yes. Request successful, 10 cobblestone. I hit OK. I didn't close quick enough, but these actually shot right out of the pipe and scattered around here. And I'll go ahead and do that one more time. I'll close the interface right away. I'm going to right-click with my wrench. Let's do 10. Request, successful, OK. And they're shooting out of the chest into here. And just to show you guys, you can see that the chest does have only 13 now. Now what happens if I pull those last 13? Remember, our supplier is set to normal. So let's just pull all of these. And hit OK. And cobblestone's gone now because there's no longer cobblestone in my network. So first thing you want to do is, if you're going to have a set storage area where I'm going to make this my cobblestone chest all the time, the thing you're going to want to leave is first stack, or maybe something like leave 1 item per stack. Now, we have 32 pieces in here, but I just said leave 1 item per stack. So if I request something, I only have 31 available because 1 of them is going to stay in that chest and it's not available for me to request. So hopefully that makes sense. We can actually put more items in here. You can have as many as you want. So let's put some auto-crafting tables. Let's put some coal and some dirt. We'll whack this with a wrench, and you can see that all of those are available, and 1 is missing from the 32 that I put in because it's going to keep those items in there. So I can always do this to request my 31 crafting tables. It says no more are available, but there is 1 in that chest still, and I'm just going to wait for these to funnel out. And I'll pick these up off the ground that messed up. If you open the chest, we see there's still 1 there because it's leaving 1 stack. So I'll go ahead and grab my items back. I'll leave the cobblestone. Now, you're probably saying, wise guy, you got items going everywhere. We don't want that to happen. The great thing you can do is you can place a chest, and again, we get that little red line because there's no valid network on this end that the pipe is connecting to over there, but it's still valid for this network over here. And we can open the chest, nothing in it. We know there's cobblestone over there. If I request something, like let's say 10 cobblestone, it'll shoot into an adjacent inventory, and we'll see the 10 cobblestone show up here. So let's go ahead and do that again. Let's put 10 back in. We can request whatever we want. Let's just do 1 piece for now. That 1 piece shot right over to this chest. The chest doesn't have to be in front of it. It can be on top. It can be to the side. It can be in front. And even underneath. So any of the faces will work. If you do have multiple chests, it'll choose 1 at random, and I'm not sure how that randomization works. I apologize, I don't have that information for you guys. So that's the basic system you have. I have a storage area with a provider pipe and a request pipe. Both are very cheap to make once you get into basic pipes, And you can set up a system basically to have a storage area and just hit a request for whatever you want. Okay, so we talked about the request pipe and the provider pipe. We know that we can provide items from a chest into a network when we request items manually with a request pipe. Now that's great for something like I have a storage area, I don't want to open every single chest to pull what I want, but what if we want something to actively pull items from that chest? Let's say we have a system where we need to have a constant supply of something in a chest or in an inventory. Now I can actually place a chest down here and use what we call a supplier pipe. Now again, we want a constant supply of something. So with the supplier pipe, it has the same green stripe here, and when it's next to an inventory, we're going to show red. That doesn't mean invalid, that just means that there's no network pipe on this side. You can whack this with a wrench, and it has a similar item to the provider pipe. We want to say items to keep stock. So what should I keep in this connected inventory at all times? I'm going to go ahead and say I want 1 piece of coal in this chest at all time. And you can see I have a furnace here, and I'm going to show you an example here too, where you can say I constantly want to have fuel here. So I always want 1 piece of coal in the bottom slot. That will just send constant fuel and will actually burn it out. So we don't want to do that. I can show you that example later. But it does work with other inventories. We have Autocrafting tables. We can have a constant supply there. With machines in Buildcraft and Industrial Craft, for example, you can keep a constant supply of a certain material to something. In forestry, we have farms, and you can keep a constant supply of wheat or a constant supply of dirt or humus for farms and have those things going for you. So with coal here, again, we're just basically saying we always want 1 piece of coal here. That's going to run a check every, let's say, 30 seconds or so. And if there's no coal in this chest, it'll pull 1 piece. And let me actually bump that up to 5 pieces or 6 pieces. You can do multiple pieces. I can say I want 1 furnace and 6 pieces of coal in there at all times, but for now we're just going to go ahead and stay with 6 coal. Now it's not pulling anything, but that's because we have no coal in this chest. So let me go ahead and drop a half stack of coal, and we'll see that it'll run a quick check. And that provider is saying, oh, I can provide coal. Let me provide it to the supplier. The supplier filled this with 6 pieces of coal. Let me pull 3 out. The supplier is going to request 3 more and say, hey, I need to fill this up till I have 6 again. Let me pull the whole stack out. Supplier says, wait a second, I don't have anything in there. Let me grab all 6 of those that I can. Now we can keep doing this for a while, but we're pulling coal from this chest over here, right? So we're at 11 now. Let's go ahead and pull out that 6. It's going to request 6 more. But wait, after these 6, what do we have left? It's going to pull some more. Actually, that's all it can pull. And why is it not pulling anymore? Because we have this set to no. It says I need to have 6 at a time. I cannot pull 1 at a time. I have to pull 6. But we should have some left in our chest. What's going on here? Oh, we only have 5 here. This says I need 6. This says you only have 5. I can't pull that stack. Now this is useful if you want to say, like, I want to pull a stack of cobblestone at all times. It will not pull unless there's 64 cobblestone available in that chest. Now when we mark this to yes, it'll go ahead and pull out what it can for coal from that chest. You can see it pulls 1 at a time. It'll fill it up. But wait, now it's stopped at 3. We're supposed to have 6 in our chest. Well, if you remember, we have 1 piece here, and that 1 piece that's left is because we said leave 1 item per stack. So that did exactly what it was supposed to do. It left 1 piece of coal there, and it supplied the chest with as much as it could. Okay, so I'll go ahead and wrap that part up for the supplier pipe. And next we're going to move on to some really fun stuff. We're going to get into a crafting pipe. Real quick before I wrap that portion for the supplier, the recipe for the supplier pipe, I apologize for not giving this to you. We're going to do a basic logistic pipe with 2 pieces of blue dye. It can be 2 lapis, it can be liquid blue dye, liquid blue in a bottle, depending on what mod you have. But for basic Buildcraft plus logistic pipes, it's going to be lapis on each end with a basic logistic pipe in the middle. So there's a recipe, guys. I apologize for not giving that to you right away. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this portion up, and again, we're going to move on to crafting. Hi guys, I'm back. I know I mentioned we were going to be going into crafting, but there's one thing with basic logistic pipes I wanted to mention before we moved on. Now, we know that we can have a network with items being connected directly to each other. And again, we can connect on any face, and we'll see that green stripe come. The red stripe appears momentarily just as it checks for a valid network. And one thing I wanted to say is that you can use basic Buildcraft pipes in between these networks. So if I use some cobblestone transport pipe, I can connect here, and we're saying this is a valid network, but it will not be able to read anything yet on the other side of this. So if I just had a bunch of cobblestone pipe, it won't be able to read anything from this inventory here. However, when you connect this to another line of logistic pipes, you can see that it does turn green and it will be able to read on both ends of this. So what that means is we can actually replace this system here that we had with a chest and cobblestone, a provider pipe, with Buildcraft pipes to save us some time. And anything we request on this end with, let's say, a request pipe will actually go through these cobblestone pipes and come out at the other end. Logistic pipes are faster than Buildcraft pipes. They're actually faster than golden pipes as well. So if you want a very fast network, you might want to use logistic pipes, but again, they are very expensive. So you might want to think about that just in your setup and what your best use is going to be. Of course, if you're in creative like I am right now, I can place as many logistic pipes as I want. I don't have to worry about this. I just wanted to mention that we can have a valid network connection with Buildcraft pipes in between. The other thing I wanted to mention is that blocks will interrupt a connection. You can see that this is a valid connection on the right side, but is not valid because there's a chest in the way or any other block. You can go around the blocks like this, and it will connect both the left and right side to each other. So that will work, but again, anything like this, or even this setup here, the right side has no green connection to the left side, and will not be able to see anything in that way. So I just wanted to cover that for you real quick, guys, and now we are going to go into the crafting system, which I'm very excited about. So let me set that up for you, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so now crafting. This is where the fun begins. Now, just like with the supplier, we can manually request items that are in a chest already, but what if we want to craft an item that we have materials for, but we don't want to sit there and craft everything? Let's say gears, for example. Gears are something that everyone makes lots of, and we don't want to have to sit there and make time after time after time. You can make an auto-crafting table and have those automatically set up using Buildcraft pipes. Why not do it with Kraphts logistic pipes? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a furnace producer. And the only reason I'm doing furnace is because cobblestone's easier, and I'm actually going to use the furnaces in the next portion of this video. So our request pipe right now is currently just showing what we have in our one inventory with a provider pipe. This is a cobblestone here. Now we can go ahead and set an auto-crafting table down, let's say right here. And we're going to use a new item, a crafting logistic pipe, to say what we want in that table. So we'll go ahead and put a R here for recipe. That's an NEI command. Crafting logistic pipe is made with a basic logistic pipe and 2 pieces of glowstone. So it's not too bad if you have your basic logistic pipes. In my crafting table, I'm going to go ahead and put my recipe. I'm going to make furnaces, so I'll do 8 pieces of cobble, which is 1 furnace. We're going to set our crafting pipe down. You can put this on the front, on the side, on top, on the right, behind it, underneath it, any face that you want. To place it on top or on any of these sides, actually, you can actually just right click. You don't need to shift to right click like I did. That's just kind of a habit that I have for machines. So I'm going to go ahead and place it just on the side to save some space. And we need to connect this to our network, so we'll put 1 pipe down. So what this is saying is, if we open it up with a wrench, right click, we have our whole input set up here, and whatever we're going to output here. Now Kraft put in a really nice thing. If you're connected to an inventory like a crafting table like this, an auto crafting table, we can just hit import, and it's going to say 8 pieces of cobblestone equals 1 furnace. Now I can also do this by putting 8 pieces of cobblestone and 1 furnace there, and that'll work too. So this crafting pipe is going to say, I need 8 pieces of cobblestone to make 1 furnace. My network now knows how to make furnaces, provided I have at least 8 pieces of cobblestone available in my network somewhere. So what do we have in this chest? we have 32 cobblestone. So we should be able to make 4 chests if we set this to normal, but right now we're only going to be able to make 3 chests because I'm leaving the first item in that stack. So I'll have 31 pieces of cobble. Let's go ahead and add a piece just to make it an even set of furnaces. Now when we whack our request pipe, we have a new option here. We had cobblestone before, but now we have just the furnace, and this brings me into a great time to show you the rest of this interface here. Now right now we're set to both, but we can actually change this to crafting, which will show us just items we can craft, which we just set up, the furnace. We can have supply, which is just items that we already have in our inventory somewhere, the cobblestone. Or both, and that's where we see both of them here. The other thing you can do is you can use this box to filter out what I want. So I just want cobble, or I just want a furnace. It's very helpful when you have multiple pages here, and you can turn your pages this way. I have a lot of different items, so I have a very large storage system on my server that I'm playing on, and I can go ahead and go through and just kind of tear through all pages and just type in a filter. So let's go ahead and craft ourselves a furnace. So we have our crafting pipe, the recipe's ready, we have a supply of cobblestone. Let me go ahead and whack this. I'm going to place the chest down so we don't lose our items everywhere. I'm going to say I want 1 furnace. Request successful, 1 furnace. We can see all the cobblestone shoot over, and 1 furnace came out. It went really quick, and there's a furnace. That's great, but you know, I want 3 more furnace. Request, go. All the cobblestone's going over, and the furnaces are going to shoot out. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 3 furnaces in my chest. That's great. Now let's go ahead and click here, and okay, I have furnace still available. I don't have any cobble because I used up what I had. A request, and it says, oh, wait a second, you're missing 8 cobblestone to make this. So it can actually tell you what recipe you need and what you're missing. So you say, oh man, I need 8 more cobblestone before I can make my furnaces again. Let me go ahead and drop some in there. So I'll get rid of these extra ones here. I'm going to grab a new stack of cobblestone, place that inside. Do a half stack like before. Plus 1 because that way I can use 32. And we can actually go back and request furnaces again. So I'm going to place a lot of cobblestone in here and just show you the power of this. Now this is with furnaces, guys, but just imagine your gears. Say you needed a stack of gears, or a stack of furnaces even. Why would you need a stack of furnaces? I don't know, but why not do it right now? These pipes are cool. I really enjoy them. You can see that I'm getting excited about it. Just grab a few more stacks here. Shift click these in. Alright, so how many furnaces can we make now? I didn't count. Let's just try to make a stack. Request successful. All these coming over here. You can see it fills up 1 by 1. And then it'll spit out the furnace. 1 by 1, spits out the furnace. And all these are going just one at a time over here. So I can do this, walk away, go mining, go get some food, go get a drink. And all my furnaces are just stacking up here in the chest, one after another. Now that's great. That's just one ingredient. What's the big deal here? Now let me show you a multi-step process. For example, gears, since those are used so much in Buildcraft and other mods as well, to make your auto-crafting of gears the simplest thing you'll ever see. I'll be right back, guys. Let me set it up, and then I'll show you what's going on. I'm just going to use what we know right now. Alright guys, so we covered basic crafting of just one recipe. Now let's talk about something that uses something maybe you don't have in your inventory immediately. So we know that wooden gears can be crafted with 4 pieces of stick, but let's say for whatever reason I don't have any sticks. We can actually teach our system how to make sticks, and it's not too hard. What we did is I set a crafting table down for the gears, which are our end product. We need sticks for that. So I took 2 pieces of plank and said that makes 4 pieces of stick. Okay, that's not too bad. But how do we make planks? Okay, the most raw material is just oak wood, and 1 log makes 4 planks. Those 2 planks make 4 sticks, and then we get our 4 sticks for our 1 gear. Now we are going to have extra planks left over because 4 are made each time we use 1 block, and I'll get into what the issue is with that when we cover that portion of it as well. So to go ahead and move on to this from here, we can just use our supplier, our provider pipe here. We can say I want to provide this with wood. And now all we have is logs, but I want some wooden gears. I can request any of the components in there, specifically. or I can request my end result, which is a gear. So let me just hit one gear, hit OK. It's going to go through, and it's going to make the sticks, and then make the gear. And wow, it did it faster than I even saw. It sent it over here. Let's go and do that one more time. Let's make a couple gears. 4 wooden gears. So there it goes. There goes 1, 2, 3, 4. How fast and easy is that, guys? That's great. You can also see that the 64 furnaces did come through, actually. It takes a little bit because it was only pulling one at a time, but that's not too bad. Now we can actually put these gears back in here, and I just wanted to show that it shows that we have 4 available because that provider is set to leave one of them in there, but it does know that gears are here. So if I put 4, it'll pull 4 from that chest and not craft anything. But if I ask for any additional ones, it'll have to craft those from our system. I'll come back out and end up here. So let me put these back. Now, you see that I picked up 4 planks, and that's actually from the first time I walked over here, and the second time, it spit out the extra planks that it used here, because it didn't know what to do with them in our network. Our network has no idea where planks should go, and that's mostly because we have no chest saying there's a default way. Now, what am I talking about with default? Well, if you actually right-click a basic pipe, you can change the default route to yes. Now, what that's going to do is it says, any item in this system, any item in this network here that they don't know what to put with, or they don't know where to send it to. Now what I mean by send is the provider says, oh, I know to send to this crafting pipe. The crafting pipe says, oh, I know to send it to the request pipe. But it didn't know what to do with the extra 2 planks that we had. Now remember I was saying make note that this makes 4 planks, but we're saying we only need 2 of them. Where does the other 2 go? By changing this to default route yes, means that the system will send it to that pipe, and it will send it that direction, and it doesn't know where it goes from there. It doesn't care. It's just going to that inventory or that area, that dump, wherever you put it at. So we'll see now when we request wooden gears. Let me go ahead and show you the 6th thing that I was talking about as well. 5 are going to be from the chest. 1's going to be crafted. It sends the planks back down the default route, and it actually stopped right here. Now, that's not too good. We don't have a chest right there. But if we did put a chest down here, and it knows that that's the default route, let me go ahead and do this one more time. Craft another wooden gear. We'll have 2 planks sent out. And they're being sent here. Alright guys, let me go ahead and figure out what's going on here. I'll fix that right now. Okay, this default route is set to no because I updated the chest. Sorry about that. Not sure how that happened. I guess when you place a new object next to it, it defaults back to 0 or back to no. So let me go ahead and request another gear. Again, I apologize for that, guys. We'll see the plank go into the default route and to the adjacent inventory, which is the 2 extra planks here. The other thing, as I was showing before, we can put planks in the system, and it doesn't need to craft planks anymore. So when I request a gear, we're going to send these pieces of planks there. And you can see this went down to 7, and I'll make sticks from there, and then any extra sticks that were made are brought into this system here. Alright, so we got gears, we have sticks, we have a basic crafting setup. One more thing we can do here, so we have wooden gears. Let's say we want to move it up to stone gears. We can actually stack crafting tables by shift right clicking, and then stack crafting pipes as well. So I'm going to go ahead and move in here. We're going to put 1 gear down, 4 pieces of cobble. That makes a stone gear. Again, with crafting pipes, guys, you have to use a BuildCraft wrench, right click, import the recipe. It knows stone gear now, and now in my system I can request stone gears as well. It's going to craft a wooden gear and then make a stone gear from there. If we already have wooden gears, sticks, planks, whatever into the system, or stone gears in the system, we can request those items individually, or we can request the stone gear. It'll pull just the wooden gear and the stone and output another stone gear. So let me go ahead and clear up these inventories a little bit, guys, and then I'll show you the next part. I think I'm going to move into satellite pipes, which are used specifically with crafting pipes, and then I'll go into some more complex setups. I pretty much want to cover every pipe before I move into modules. I'll tell you about modules in later episodes. And I think for now, this is a pretty good wrapping up point. We have a basic system that can craft upon command as many items as we like. Our limit is only our crafting tables and our resources to make the pipes. We have a system that will send all extra items to a chest. And this is something you're going to want in every system, guys. I should have set this up to have a default route somewhere else. It doesn't need to be at an edge. It can be anywhere I want. I can run pipes all the way wherever I like. Let's say right here. And any extra items that aren't being used, I'm going to make this my default route. They'll just go into this chest as like a buffer chest or an overfull chest. So requested items end up here, overflow goes to that chest. We can make whatever we want here. I can place as many crafting pipes as I like down, and that's great. So pretty good wrapping up point, guys. I'm going to make part 2 of the series. We're going to go into more complicated pipes, some of the specific pipes that are only for certain cases. And then just kind of go from there, guys. So hopefully you're enjoying what you see so far. Please comment if you have any feedback for me. I apologize if these seem a little bit confusing, but it's something that there's not a lot of info out there on the wiki, and I'm really trying to make this as user-friendly as possible, so I want to cover all the bases. Again, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave feedback. I'm going to be doing some practical setups and systems as well. I actually did a tree farm setup with this crazy mess over here. You can see I'm using crafting pipes and logistic pipes, the supplier pipe here, and a new pipe down there that you'll get to know later. And we're just going to kind of cover a lot of different crazy setups we can do. There's another one right here, different things I've been playing with. So hope you guys like what you have so far. Please let me know if you have specific systems or setups you're having or any errors that you're having too, and I'll help you the best I can. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.